Goal: determination of the U values of the GWR insulation material. The U value is the International Heat Transfer Factor, which can be used to compare the thermal insulation capacity of different materials. Problem: the greatest advantage of GWR is that it is significantly thinner than conventional materials when applied, with a total thickness of less than 1 millimeter. However, it is not possible to determine the product's U value using traditional methods. Solution: we found the only viable path. We are comparing it to a material that will allow us to determine the U value. But it is not that simple either, because the material behaves differently when there are insufficient cubic meters of air. That is why we have developed the GWR test environment, which is currently unique in the world, and which we have included in the TÜV SÜD certification process. Test environment: 3 test buildings, identical orientation, identical distance among the buildings so as to not shadow one another, identical size, identical ceiling height, identical building materials, identical roof structure, identical door, no windows, no rooms. The only difference is in thermal insulation. Building 1, uninsulated. Building 2, GWR Nano insulation. Building 3, standard polystyrene insulation. 2 20-foot metal containers, identical size, identical material, identical wall thickness, identical orientation. The only difference is in thermal insulation. Container 1, uninsulated. Container 2, GWR Nano. All buildings and containers have the same climate, IP camera, accredited testo temperature measuring devices, air conditioning and heating units. Accredited consumption meters have been installed. From the outside, the 3 buildings and the 2 containers are recorded separately by an IP camera and a time-lapse camera. Both the IP cameras and the testo temperature measuring devices are available online. We have placed a lot of emphasis on making everything the same, as this is a new technology and we want to base it on perfectly valid information. We have also strived to achieve world-class quality in the construction of our buildings because this is essential for international approval. Test process. The test consists of 2 parts. 1. Passive. The buildings are set to the same temperature and humidity, and the outdoor and indoor temperatures are measured for each object. 2. Active. With the help of the consumption meter, if we set the air conditioners and heaters to 24 degrees, we will measure how much energy will be necessary to maintain this temperature in each building. Duration: a full cooling and heating season. Meanwhile, approximately after 1 month, the verifications start on the basis of the continually collected measurement data, which is authenticated and approved by TÜV SÜD. The cooperation with TÜV SÜD is a strategically important element of the process, as the procedure is unique and the test environment is also unique.